Okay, our book this week is How is Butter Made? So we're going to talk about this and what genre this book is and why we think the author wrote this book. So let's just take a few minutes and do a little bit of a picture walk with How is Butter Made? Let's just look at a few of the pictures. We don't have to read the words even yet, but from this we could tell the genre of the story. So what genre do you think this book or this text is? It is nonfiction. Well, how do we know it's nonfiction? Let's see. Do you know why you know it's nonfiction? Go ahead and answer out loud. Maybe because it has real pictures, right? It's about a real topic. Also, it has its glossary. Usually, fiction books don't have a glossary. Not every nonfiction book has a glossary, but a lot of ones that are teaching you to inform, they do have a glossary. So, nonfiction books, you could definitely tell it's nonfiction. Why did the author write How is Butter Made? Well, let's take a peek at the table of contents. Do you remember where you find the table of contents? You find it at the beginning of the book. So let's look at the table of contents and let's read some of the titles in our story. Will you read them out loud? How was butter made? Machines do it best. Make it or buy it. And then, of course, we got the glossary on page 14. So, by looking at those titles, by looking at the pictures that we already saw, why do you think the author wrote How is Butter Made? Why do you think the author wrote that? Do you think she wrote it to tell you a funny story? No. Do you think she wrote it to talk you into buying a machine and making butter to sell it? Probably not. Do you think she wrote it to teach you something? Absolutely. And I know that because it says, how is it made? Well, she's going to tell me how it's made and she's going to tell me about the machines and tell me how to make it or if I should just buy it. So she's going to give me information. So she wrote the book to inform me. So today, and to inform the readers, today you are going to read How is Butter Made? And I'm going to have a Google slide for you to work on after you read the story. Don't forget, you're going to see a lot of big words in this book. Um, Compound word that you're going to see is, can you read this big compound word with me? Buttermilk. Well, buttermilk is underlined. Usually, if it's underlined or bold, we can find it in the glossary. We can find what it means in the glossary. So, what in the world is buttermilk? Have you ever tasted buttermilk? Do you know what buttermilk is? Well, let's go to the glossary and see what it is. Buttermilk, it tells me on the top, it's the liquid that is left after the butter has been made from milk or cream. So, buttermilk is the liquidy part. Then it's got other words in the glossary. The other word, there's a UR word that we did last week. Can you read, or we didn't have this word, but we had that sound. Can you read that word? Churn. Well, what is churn? You're going to find out a little bit more about churning when you read the book. But a churn is a container in which cream is stirred or shaken to make butter. Skimmed. Skimmed means to remove a layer of something from the top of the liquid. You're going to see how they skim it. They skim the fat in the book. You're going to talk about that. And splits means to break apart or break into pieces. So you're going to do a vocab sheet with these words and you are going to start reading how to make butter. Okay? And this week you do not have science because or social studies. We really finished all science and social studies standards. So what we're going to do is I gave you like something yesterday just to study the history of Mother's Day. I want you this week when you're home to be thinking of ways you can make mom feel special on Sunday. Sunday is Mother's Day. So this week I want you to think like, what can I do for mom? Can I make her pictures? Can I make her some coupons? Can I clean her bedroom or maybe wash the counter and wash the table? be thinking of ways that you can help mom. I threw that video on yesterday, just the history of Mother's Day. And in our classroom, for during our social study time or during our science time, we've just been working on things to do for our moms. So be thinking of things to make mommy feel special. They're such good workers. They're so hard, such hard workers, and they love you and they take good care of you. So let's think of ways to spoil them when it comes to their special day on Sunday. So you be thinking about that this week because you're going to have a little extra time because we do not have social studies or science. And then tomorrow I'm going to add a little bit of science in our reading because we're going to have a little bit, I'm going to have a video for you and I'm going to put a little science activity that you could try at home with our reading book. I'll see you tomorrow.